All right. Good afternoon, morning, etc. To Quest for Glory 5 Dragonfire. First of a few Quest for Glories on this block. We're starting with the last one as part of I guess, a special jank block that I have here today on Retrothon. This is going to be a any percent no major skips run. We'll go a little bit into what makes it no major skips during the run. With me, I have two veterans of Quest for Glory 5 Dragonfire. David TKI. Hello, David.
Hello.
And
I'm David.
Current world record holder of the no major skips category, Reynold.
Hello, everyone.
All right, so we are going to start time on play. We are pumping points into swimming, just so we don't have to learn it later in the game, and then a little bit in magic, because that'll help our damage output just a teensy bit later on. Time will start when I hit play in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, this nice wither here is going to give us a choice between going into Thilmaria, the town of the game, or danger. We laugh in the face of danger.
I'm in danger.
Oh, yes, we are. So I'm going to do something a little weird here. I'm going to set up a save in this overmap, and I want to show off a little quirk here. If I rest twice, it sets off this encounter, even though one hasn't actually occurred. And it actually warps us to the encounter, even though we'd actually just been in town. Make note of that for later. But for now, we are going to go into town. It is actually faster to go into danger first, and then head back in here. Basic plot of this game. We are now at the end of our kind of large Dungeons & Dragons-esque campaign as a hero in the world of Quest for Glory, and the only thing left for us to do in-universe is to become king of a nation we've never visited. To do that, we are going to enter a contest called the Rights of Rulership. To do that, we do have to pay an entry fee, and I'm out of money. So we're going to sell some spells to our good mage here, a Liontar. Check out that beautiful animation. How much time and money did they spend on that? We're going to get to know him. Greet Chakra. Hello, Chakra. We're going to leave.
Hello.
Goodbye, Chakra.
The great way to make friends in this game is to talk to them, leave and come back. Now he feels like he knows us a little bit better, and he trusts us enough to learn spells from us. It's going to make us a little bit of extra scratch. Okay, make sure we teach him that one as
Just
well.
barely enough.
Yep, just barely enough to buy a teleporting artifact that we'll make heavy use of, and enough money left over to enter the Rights of Rulership. This is a series of contests, tests of strength, courage, intelligence, etc., and whoever wins is named worthy enough to be King of Thilmaria. Which is what we're going to do. This is also the guidelines for the no major skips. We can do any kind of goofy glitches we like, as long as we complete all of the Rights of Rulership challenges in the intended order. So we're going to pay a visit to Logos, the, I guess he's, what, like the steward of Thilmaria? I actually don't remember.
Yeah, he's a steward, I believe, would be an appropriate title.
Yeah. Here are our other contestants. We don't have to worry too much about them. I'm going to hit this guard a fireball to his face. It'll become apparent why later. We're going to go back to our original save here in the overmap. Do that resting twice quirk. And then reload our old save. The game gets confused and actually warps us back to a random encounter outside of Thilmaria, saving us a ton of time of having to actually hoof it over there. This was discovered by David originally. I know, Reynold, you made a ton of use of it. How did you guys actually figure this out?
So when I originally discovered the glitch, I just kind of thought, wait, that was weird that it yeeted me out of Thilmaria. And I thought of only one place where I could use it, which was the depths of Hades, because normally you have to run out of Hades, and it takes several minutes. But all the other usages were discovered by other community members.
Yeah, it was mostly just a matter of just understanding the specific mechanics of the glitch and how we could leverage it. Because the basic principle of how the glitch works is the fact that you're basically transferring a random encounter from one save to another, and that's most useful in situations where you can't leave the location that you're in, like in Hades. But also, the use cases that Lemming has shown so far are ones where it's just faster to warp in, like getting to the random encounter is faster than running out. So, for example, Lemming was at the Hall of Kings to start the Rites of Rulership, but rather than having to run all the way back out to the gates of Silmaria and then running over to the village that he needed to save for the first rite, it was just faster to exit via a random encounter instead.
Yeah, that is a common complaint casually about the game, is that the destination from point A to B tends to be pretty large. I think they were still learning kind of a 3D environment, and there's just a lot of walking to and fro that we eliminate by just making these. Well, we originally called them soul yeets because we were taking our soul out of Hades. Now we don't have to worry about that.
I still like the name Soul Yeet.
Oh, yeah. We've just kind of started to more generally call them yeets now, but it remains. Here's another great glitch. We are going to quit out while on the overmap, pop back into the game, and this one's bizarre. he just he just runs faster when you go northwest, and only northwest. You can see he's slowing down.
You might have gone.
It's okay. We got a very serendipitous encounter there, which actually reset my thing there. Right now, you call it the Northwest Passage, right? I got a big kick out of that name.
I believe it was fellow speedrunner Crow who came up with that name. Also, because of the specific mechanics about how yeeting works, you are in slight danger of yeeting to the wrong location later on. No, wait, never mind.
Yeah, we haven't actually said any of the yeet locations, have we?
No.
Yeah, it's because in the No Major Skips category, we don't often enough to worry about that. So I think Lemming should be fine.
Oh man,
yeah. So the glitch that Lemming is trying to perform right now was discovered by another runner named Jacobin. He got it, nice. We call it the Skyrunner glitch. So the way that it works is that if you hit yourself with a force bolt, because a force bolt is a projectile that bounces off of walls, if you aim it just right, you can have it hit yourself. And if you're in the middle of casting the levitate spell when you get hit, it interrupts your animation and lets you run around in midair. Because normally when you're levitating, you can only go up or down. But in that situation, he was able to just start running in midair and thus able to more quickly get up to the top of those peaks and get the Pegasus feathers that we need.
Very convenient, that fetch spell.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm delighted by some of the recent discoveries that actually let us use the fetch spell, where I think originally there wasn't really a huge functionality for it in the game. Now it's actually pretty integral.
Yeah, because your collision while you're running, while you're doing the Skyrunner glitch, while you're levitating, my understanding is that your collision is still basically the same as though you were on the ground, so you can't actually use it to land on top of the peak next to the tree where the Pegasus feathers are. But using the fetch spell still allows you to grab the feathers from a distance. So you'll be seeing another application of the Skyrunner glitch when we get to the third.
Oh right, these guards are still really ticked off at me. Oh my god, they're coming for me. Well, they still have a job to do, and they have to do their first role as quest churn-in guy before they kill me. So that takes a little bit of time because the quest churn-in guy comes to you. How convenient.
Yeah, because again, a lot of the time in this game, there used to be just so much more dead air as you're just running from location to location. So even saving a few seconds on this screen by having the guards run up to you so you can turn in the quest items more quickly.
Yeah, we are turning in a lot of quest items, so it does add up.
Yeah, speaking of quest items, you can see you showing off that picture of a balloon, gathering the components you'll need for a balloon later.
Gotta have a balloon.
Yeah, like any good RPG, this game actually has an airship that you get eventually.
A very, very silly looking airship.
But it's an airship.
Alright, so our second rite is the Rite of Conquest. So we kind of talked over it, but you may have noticed that we were in a village earlier with Roman invaders, those guys with the skulls on their heads. We are now tasked with actually defeating their General Claudius. We're going to go to his fort and deal with him. This part is actually all for anchovies. Again, we've been talking to this guy and renting his boat just so he knows that we are friendly. After all, the best way to make friends is to talk to them for 1 second, leave and come back. We'll need those anchovies to put on our artichoke pizza to bribe a scientist later. This works on all scientists, by the way, so for any aspiring academics out there, if you do need to get some extra credit or anything like that, NANA pizza will typically do the trick. Here we are at Stiff Nose.
Unless the scientist likes pepperoni and jalapeno.
Oh yeah, well only at night. Oh my god, the Vuvuzelas. Well, safe to assume they know we're here by now. I cast a calm spell just to make sure they don't block the entryway. It has done nothing for the Vuvuzelas though. Oh
What,
no.
Lemming? I can't hear you. Speak
What?
up.
What?
What?
Oh, here we go. Whew.
So this area is a little bit dicey because we don't have any mana pills. We have a lot of mana because we're a wizard, but Lemming still has to be very careful about how many frostbites he casts, because if he runs out of mana, he's not going to have enough to kill the general.
Oh no, wizard! Ah, okay, never mind.
That right there is a bit
Those
of a
wizards go all over the place.
That's right. Nice chunky wizard chunks flying everywhere. Yeah, so that's a callback to kind of one of the mechanics that is brought up when you first get the wizard staff in the third game, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a
Because
callback
you're
to.
told, okay, this powers up all of your spells, so wizard staff is great. But don't cast the trigger spell, because that will activate the magic inside the staff and cause it to explode. So if you have played those earlier games and you get to this part and you see that centaur wizard standing there and you see he's got a magic staff.
Yeah, that's a great callback. I don't even think this game tells you about that, but if you are a longtime fan, you just happen to know that's how they work. They reward you for that knowledge. It's pretty cool. It's also delightfully gross in a low polygon type of way.
Ludicrous Gibbs.
Alright, yeah. So those guards, you can see, are still ticked off, but, you know, they're going to do their job. So before we... David, you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna hope that they're still angry in this next cutscene.
Well, you know, I'm sure we just have to go back. Actually, I think our buddy Rakesh from Wages of War wants to talk to us. Oh no, an assassin! Get down! Get down! Okay, he did. Quick on his feet, our hero.
The assassin.
Oh no!
I was hoping.
No, Rakesh! Alright, we are
being angry.
Oh good, thank you, guard.
Kind of messed with that cutscene a bit.
That looks better if you have not ticked off the guards, for what it's worth, but the game gets a little chaotic when multiple people are trying to stab you. I'm going to calm him right here, because the next time we come back to this area, we're actually going to be at the gates to the palace to turn in our next plot MacGuffin. So it's helpful just to calm him there, just so he's in an optimal space to track me down earlier. Again, it saves a couple of seconds of running. Our next rite is the Rite of Valor. We have to go kill a Hydra. It's a Hydra that's off on an inaccessible island bothering nobody, so naturally it must die. We do need a magical weapon to defeat the Hydra. We do have a magic axe, but the attack animation on that axe is absolutely dreadful, so we're going to sell it and pick up a magic spear, which has much better DPS in general.
It was truly a dark era of the no major skips category when the wizard had to kill the Hydra with a magic axe.
Yeah, I almost want to use it just to show you all, but it was terrible. Just the comical wind up of an attack. Like, how long was it?
You can make a safety save here.
Yeah, good idea. We have to pull a lever over here, and I'm going to use magic because I'm a wizard. Screw manual labor, and is that how we walk? Huh.
Apparently.
Huh. Okay.
This screen is absolutely bizarre. For some reason, just about every single interactable in this room can be interacted with from a distance using the open spell. So Lemming used it to pull a lever from a distance to save a few seconds before. He's going to use it again here because we need to ride the gondola in order to reach the academy that's on the island on the other side. And it just saves a few seconds to activate the lever from a distance.
But the reason we're safety saving is because it's possible to soft lock the game with a wrong cast here.
Right, yes. Normally you're supposed to cast Force Bolts to hit that lever from a distance, or you can just cast Open for some reason. Lemming is going to be returning to this island later on, and he'll be saving a lot more time on his second visit.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Like, I guess on some level, maybe at one point they wanted Open to work, but the fact that he kind of like pulls a ghost lever when he does it gives me the sense that they didn't fully intend to implement it the way it currently works. Anyway, time for a science quiz. To get in the science island, we do have to prove that we are scientists. So we do a quiz that's mostly just kind of hyping up the scientists themselves with the odd Star Trek joke. What is a quark? A bartender on a space station, particle of atom. It's all of the above. Almost there. Perfect. So, as mentioned before, we did make an A&A pizza for our scientist to bribe him, and I'm actually going to be very deliberate. Make sure I...
Wait, it's still artichokes.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Put the anchovies on it.
There we go. Gotta do everything myself, jeez. I was also very careful about clicking on the scientist there, because this game does consider pizzas a projectile weapon, and there is always a small chance that if I'm off in my aim, I'll just toss the dang thing right at his face.
It doesn't even do anything. You just kind of toss the pizza
Right.
and it goes,
Yeah.
and then splatters all over.
Zero damage attack that destroys our mission critical pizza. Which is basically marathon poison, because then we have to go back to town and get a new one. So I just had to be careful there. It's worth noting, by the way, this whole Icarus thing, like, that might seem like a really arbitrary thing to figure out yourself. There is a guy, an NPC, a retired adventurer, who does give you hints on all this stuff. I mentioned that because later there's going to be kind of a funny meta. We need our healing pills, jars, no more of that.
So coming up is the Hydra fight, which is where Lemming is going to be leveraging the Skyrunner glitch again. So the Hydra has 3 heads. The 2 side heads can only be damaged from these cliffs that are on the side. And as with the mythical Hydra of Legend, you have to chop off the head and then also burn off the stump. This is not a thing that you're supposed to be able to do alone. Another character, Elsa, is going to be joining to help us, so that one person can chop the head and the other can burn the stump off. And the reason why the setup is the way that it is because the game intends you to be on those cliffs on the side to chop the side heads, while the other person is down front to burn the stumps off, because you can't burn the stumps off from the sides. But thanks to the Skyrunner glitch, Lemming can actually get high enough to be able to hit the hitboxes for the side heads, and then drop back to down to the ground to cast Flame Dart to burn the stumps off.
Kill the military right there.
Chop the head off a bit early. Yeah, the tricky thing about the Skyrunner glitch is that normally you can't cast spells while you're levitating, and so burning the stumps off requires casting the Flame Dart spell, which is not something that you're capable of doing.
And my levitate animation here, I'm getting my timing off. There we go. There we go. Okay.
Yeah. You got it. So the strategy here is to soften up one of the heads, then go to the other side head, chop that off, then run to the first head and chop that off quickly, because it takes only a few seconds before the head goes back. So we want to chop 2 heads off simultaneously, drop to the ground. A well-timed arrival by Elsa, as usual.
She's so helpful.
Quickly, set burn it now.
You got it.
Help.
Quickly.
Ooh,
And,
Okay, that's...
okay.
Oh!
Yeah,
it's-
no, I knew I messed that up. I was a little too... Still levitating, technically, for 1 second there.
Yeah, the timing does get pretty tight. And unfortunately, while Elsa is talking to you, when she shows up and says, "Hey, do you want some help?" you more or less can't do anything while she does that. But because of a glitch that Lemming's going to be taking advantage of later on, while the game's paused, while that interaction menu is up, the acid spray from the Hydra will still continue to damage you, so it's possible to die while Elsa is talking.
Yeah, I can't be too mad about that particular quirk, because we will use it to our advantage later.
Yeah, one small thing that we haven't mentioned yet is the animation canceling of using the spear. And one of the reasons that we like the spear so much, because when we attack, we can also press a button to defend ourselves, parry an attack, but that defend actually interrupts the attack animation, so we use it for an attack animation cancel so that we can hit more quickly. Like, as soon as the attack finishes, instead of letting the hero wind down from the attack, we just defend and then attack again. So yeah, a lot going on here. Burn the stumps.
I see someone in chat mentioning the Mega Man pause glitch. It's kind of like that, except the AoE is still taking effect while the pause menu is up.
And Alpha's
Yeah,
still
I'd
there
liken it
attacking the
more
ditch.
to the Blaster Master grenade glitch.
But yeah, that was the Hydra fight. Definitely has a lot of ways that it can go wrong. So
Yeah, that was chaotic, but I've, believe it or not, I've had worse.
Okay, I am amazed that you stood right next to the chest and set off the trap without taking damage. That chest normally does 400 damage.
Oh, yeah, well, you see, we cast our, we need to rest until the next day here.
until the next day, yeah.
We gave our good friend No Man of the No Man's Inn, get it, a sheet to turn into a balloon here, and she needs a day to do it. There we go. It's time to make our airship, after all. Yeah, it's kind of neat that that chest doesn't murder us. I think the game gets confused because I was doing a running start when I activated it, so I think the game just assumes I'm still far away to not get exploded by it. I've never actually known why that works for us, but it's nice.
It is very convenient, yes.
One thing we talked over, so we did defeat the Hydra, and we're supposed to give the teeth to the guards as proof, but gracious heroes we are, we decided, Alpha, you know, you really carried that battle. I think you should win this fight. So we gave the teeth to her, so she's going to go churn it in. So how that works is that we're going to go to bed later, and then the guards wake us up and say, hey, the right's over, you lost, and Alpha won. This, of course, is the effort of hoofing it all the way back over there to the right. It doesn't really matter if we lose it. But as Runner Crow figured out, we can actually start doing the other rights while we wait for that other one to churn in. So we're going to go ahead and do two rights that we haven't actually gotten yet. The Rite of Destiny and the Rite of Peace. A little more ping pong here.
Oh, that running
hilarious
animation is
because
fantastic.
The game actually soft locks you while you cast open on the lever from a distance, but if you're running forward while it happens, your character will still sliding forward like that, and you can set it up so that you ping pong your way all the way over to the gondola. It's a thing of beauty.
Oh, whoops, missed. There we go.
Your spell does not work on this.
It's funny that the cursor also wobbles with the gondola.
It's real inconvenient.
Yeah, that's peculiar.
So I mentioned that open works on every single interactable on the screen, and that includes the entrance to the academy. And so we can just cast open on the entrance from the side. It is truly bizarre.
Science Island is like the most busted aspect of this game in good ways and bad. You don't have to do it
yeah,
here for
historically-
completely arbitrary reasons. The game even freezes up when you do it. You have to like press escape to get it to keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, this part of the game has historically been a drag just because of how long it takes to run all the way back down to Science Island twice. So any time save that we can find is just it's a blessing.
Yeah, so this gondola that's been floating around is going to be our airship. We just have to get it properly hot air ballooned.
You know, I'm becoming convinced that Science Island was designed by Bob and Threadbare.
It's all coming together.
Yeah.
So you may recall our funny northwest speedy glitch when we were last traversing the overmap. Turns out it works for airships too. So let's go ahead and get that queued up here. A little save, a quit out. Pop back into the game. We're also flying backwards, by the way. Woo! Yeah, now it's an airship. This is some proper high wind speeds, I tell you. So like I said, this right is just called the Rite of Destiny. We have to get to a hard-to-access island, an airship-only accessible island. Throw some money into a special little pool here and learn our fortune. Which we're going to
I
skip
noticed
through.
fetch is no longer on your bar.
Oh, yeah, let's throw that back on there. It's barely even a time
haven't
save, it's
really-
just swag.
Yeah, we haven't really gone over hotbar management very much.
Well, in summary, it's awful, but Oh,
It's-
oh
it's-
no,
it's-
I missed it!
Oh, you missed it.
Woo! Okay. That'll do it.
The worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, hotbar management is definitely a strange but often important part of the run because, you know, the items that you have in your hotbar down in the bottom are, you know, the ones that you can generally use, and there are just so many different items that you need over the course of the entire game, and so a lot of routing in the game can involve sort of planning out what items you want to have in your hotbar at any given time, and when you get a new item, if you have an empty slot on your hotbar, it will automatically place itself on the hotbar. So if you want the item on your hotbar, you want it to automatically be put there. If you don't, you want your hotbar to be full. It's very strange.
Hey, who did swimming in high school? I mean, I used to. Yeah, no, me too. I was a freestyler. I never really got the breaststroke down. I think part of the reason was when coach was trying to explain the breaststroke to me, I just didn't understand the importance of animation cancel. Could never get that to work for myself. Hero, though, he's great at it.
Oh, that's what I did wrong.
Yeah.
My breaststroke was always pretty bad.
So everyone knows that the first pump of a breaststroke is super fast and your back one is terrible. So just cast open and reset to the original pump and you'll go that much faster. I love the little sparks of blood popping off me.
Yeah, so really quick, the Rite of Peace is not supposed to be doable until we finish the Rite of Courage, because after the Rite of Courage, you're supposed to get an amulet that allows you to breathe underwater. But, well, if you're fast enough, you can just go straight in here and take care of the whole thing, and you're not even going to get close to running out of breath. So, yeah, we've completed the things we need to do for Rites 4 and 6, but we haven't actually turned in Rite 3 yet.
Yeah, it did do some serious damage to our lungs, so fortunately a good night's sleep should really patch up all those blood splatters.
But yeah, here's where we really take advantage of the early airship tech that was discovered by Crow, because now instead of having to do multiple round trips to the Hall of Kings to complete each of the rites, now we can complete them in batches. We get teleported to the Hall of Kings to complete Rite of Valor, and we already have the Proof of Destiny to immediately end the fourth rite.
So this guard I placed here many moons ago is already ready to receive our Proof of Destiny.
Your schemes are coming together now.
That was my fortune. It said thou shall do the rites in a very questionable order. Well, time to die. We're going to do the Rite of Courage here. That involves a trip down to good old Hades. Again, I don't really want to actually walk out of town, so let's just do another warp.
Okay, you got lucky. You did not hit the same encounter room as the first random encounter that you hit. You would have warped.
Yeah, that original one was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
So I mentioned that we're supposed to get a lot of guidance for the quest from a famous adventurer who tells us how to do a lot of this stuff. He's also the guy that tells us how to open the portal to Hades, which involves a kind of convoluted thing where you get some
water
from this kind of corpsey part of the river, and drop it off at the basin of the river next to what will open into the realm of Hades. If you do this normally, the game will let you know that that's what you did. If you did it without actually knowing you're supposed to do that, the game is aware of your meta cheekiness and gives you this wonderful text box. It seems an odd thing to do, and you're not really sure why you're doing it, but you obviously have nothing better to do, which is how I approach speedrunning. So that's our speedrunner's creed. We are now going to see the best boy in hell, good old Cerberus.
All three of them.
Yeah, a couple different ways to approach this casually. You can either fight him, you can aggro him and run around him. You can even bribe the different heads with different foods. They all each have a favorite. We're just going to confuse his optics here by walking backwards. He doesn't really know what to do in this situation. You just kind of phase right through him.
Yeah, the thing with that cutscene is that when it activates, the hero backs away, but if you're facing away from the entrance, you back away into the entrance.
Just clip right through them. It's perfect.
Perfect coding going on there. So this used to be the absolute bane of any percent no major skips speedrun. This part was just brutal. It was just running for a comical amount of time. The other one, levitate. You have to go in, you have to grab some River Styx water. You didn't have to visit some ghosts of your previous love interest from previous games and choose one of them to live, or not. It's the whole thing. Now, because thanks to the power of the Soul Yeet, we can just get our Styx water and poof back to the overworld. The only thing we miss out on is the amulet that lets us breathe underwater, but as you've already seen, we've do some optimal breaststroking, we have, oh gosh, terrible ing word. Through some optimal swimming, we have don't really need it. So let's go ahead and get our Styx water.
So the thing here is that the mystic magnets don't work in Hades, and so you have to get out again. But in order to get out again, you have to both get the Styx water and talk to the Guardian. And this room by itself is like 5 minutes long if you do that.
And it's not just the length; it's the fact that it's a round trip. You run all the way in, and then you run all the way back out. It was terrible. And now we don't have to do it anymore.
Hey, oops. Unless you flub the skip, then you gotta. There we go.
Yeah. So can't use the magnet in Hades, but you can use a magnet during a random encounter. So that lets us escape from Hades without having to do the rest of those shenanigans.
And then lucky us, we've already done the Rite of Peace.
Yeah. So another double right churning here. Then we will approach our end game. There's only one rite after courage and peace. It's the rite of justice. Hard to notice in a speedrun, but while this has been going on, an assassin has been going around killing random people and causing general trouble. They tried to kill our buddy Rakish the Lion Tar, but we saved him earlier for poison cure pill.
But to be fair, we only did that because it was faster.
It is faster, otherwise.
Only a few seconds.
Yeah, otherwise we would totally let him die. Anyway, once we turn on the Rite of Peace, Logos here is going to be like, you know what? We should probably address the whole Assassin of Kings thing going on. Why don't we turn that into a contest, right? So after after the Rite of Peace, we're going to have the Rite of Justice, which is, can you just deal with the whole assassin thing, please, and thank you. Which leads us to kind of the original tech of Dragonfire, right, David? Like, I think this is the first.
Oh yeah.
Like, the first thing that was discovered for the game was, in fact, the mega skip for the game.
Yeah.
So the
and I guess we decided it's okay for this.
We did decide.
Yeah, for the particular format. So normally the assassin ambushes you on the screen if you go across a bridge. Until then, he's actually hiding out in this piece of wall, which you can just blast with an AoE spell and kill him. All right, right over.
And normally what happens is that during that fight against the assassin, you get poisoned, and then you fall unconscious, and then you get taken to the Hall of Kings, where you then talk about who hired the assassin and all that. But it turns out that if you kill him from behind the wall, you can still get summoned to the Hall of Kings, same as with the third rite, by resting in your inn room.
But the really important thing here is that he's there the whole time, so from the very beginning of the game, we could have just killed him and then done this whole end sequence.
Which is one of the many reasons why the any percent world record time for this game is 2 minutes 6 seconds.
Yeah, basically you kill the assassin and then you do a couple of the wrong warp yeets until the game is over. It's comical. You should check it out. It's so delightfully busted.
I can't believe we're down to 2 minutes.
I almost can't believe it either. It also leverages the yeeting technology to. Because normally, as you're going to see here, once we resolve the whole assassin deal, the game is going to take us into the end game on Minos Island. And as with Hades, you can't use the Mystic Magnet to get out of here. But you can yeet out of here and skip the final fight. And that's what the any percent category does. But we are not skipping that here.
Yeah, we decided for this category we should do it proper and actually deal with the whole Dragonfire part of Dragonfire.
I see someone in chat said that any percent sounds like 0%. It's pretty close. It's pretty
just about. We do one task, right? We kill the assassin. That is technically a deed, yeah.
And it used to be that we also accepted the throne in the Hall of Kings, but we don't even do that anymore.
Yeah. Oops,
because there's a.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Because
the only thing we care about is reaching the credit screen, but that's a story for a different time.
You actually don't have any mana pills, right?
Nah.
Yeah, so the first thing you're going to do is actually open this alcove, which is magically trapped, but thank you, trigger spell, and get all these potions. And then, oh, right, monsters here.
So, this is the villain of the game, Minos. He has legendary meme stats in the community as being the only guy with unskippable dialogue, and here it is.
You think you have won? mistaken. I will not be defeated. I will destroy everything and you both will die. I hold the prophecy stone in my hands. When it breaks, the Dark Dragon will rise to destroy all of Silmaria. If I cannot rule what is rightfully mine, then I shall destroy it. You cannot stop me. No one can stop me. I am your doom.
Your doom, ladies and gentlemen.
The floor stopped him pretty well.
Yeah, I was actually a little sad that we no longer have to listen to him in the 80% run. He used to be such a constant, like in every Dragonfire run.
I mean, everybody was asking for a Nino skip, and well.
Oh yeah, no. I touched that stove, I will admit. Alright, someone want to explain the end game here with the pillar and all that?
Yeah. So this is the Dark Dragon of Samaria of the prophecy, and the reason why the Dark Dragon is now a threat is because these dragon pillars have been destroyed, and so the dragon is invulnerable until we have restored the pillar. So this is the first phase of the dragon fight.
And that was the first phase of the dragon fight.
First phase of the dragon fight. Frostbite is an incredibly overpowered spell. We think it's partly due to the fact that the game's running at a faster frame rate now, and that the spell is just ticking damage faster than when the game was originally developed.
Yeah, combat is much more of a slog without the power of Frostbite.
And this is phase 2, and here is where Lemming is going to take advantage of that pause menu glitch that I mentioned before, because even though the pause menu is up right now, Frostbite spell is still active, is still doing it. It's nice.
Alright, we did that clean at least. We killed one reptile in an efficient manner.
That's the clean phase 2 that we often look for.
So here we are coming up on time, which is you accept or refuse the throne. First we dance.
Yay!
I'm going to refuse it because I love this line from Logos.
Why? Why have you gone through so
Oh, time.
That was time, by the way.
life for Silmaria? Why do you not want the reward of
Someone in chat is asking if you could boost the frame rate more to do damage even faster. It doesn't seem so. I've gotten the frame rate.
Maybe in like 2040 when we're running this on ever more powerful machines, the time will go down. It's a bit of a quirk. So that was Dragonfire. This game has a nice little, well, there's a score system, and then it actually tells you all the stuff you did, and then it'll actually tease what we didn't do, which is, oh, that's a lot. Well, maybe for another day. But that is Dragonfire. Thank you all for watching. I know we went a little overestimate there as I struggled with the Hydra, so I appreciate your patience, and I hope you got as much of a kick out of that as I do.
This run is so fast now.
Yeah, gosh, what was it? Used to be like 45, 46 or something like that.
40, 45 minutes,
Yeah.
And now the world record is just barely under a half hour.
Yeah, it's a great category. I mean, I don't often run a lot of the kind of conditional any % categories, but this one is just so tempting because it lets you do a lot more fun stuff just because we've destroyed the traditional any % to such a degree that it's still fun, but it's more of like a novelty at this point than anything. Alright, I think we're going to take a very brief break here, and then I'm going to be back on with another Sierra-published RPG with great backgrounds and questionable polygons, Return the Krondor. Which doesn't have warps yet, but it also has some ludicrous tech we'll be taking advantage of as well. So stay tuned for that.
See y'all later.
Yeah, thank you, David and Reynold.